Um, Hello, everyone. Um, on behalf of AMA and my grandfather, Mr. Dilip Shah, the past president of AMA, we welcome you for an engaging talk with an icon in the health and wellness industry, Mr. Luke Coutinho. Luke practices Luke practices in the field of holistic nutrition and integrative and lifestyle medicine. He is the pioneer and founder of the UK Wellness Program that has consulted and treated over 20,000 patients across the globe with cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune conditions, obesity, and rare metabolic syndromes. This holistic and integrative lifestyle program revolves around 5 fundamental pillars: cellular nutrition, adequate exercise, quality sleep, emotional detox, and the spirit. It has now stemmed into a beautiful community with over 1 million people. Thousands of global testimonials express how his free videos, blogs, challenges, and programs have helped people reverse diabetes, lose fat the right way, put cancers into remission, and overcome suicidal tendencies to live happier lives. He has authored 4 bestsellers and won several national and international awards. He is also the champion for lifestyle and wellness for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Fit India movement. UCare Lifestyle, India's trusted sustainable e-commerce platform, co-founded by Luke, brings ethical, transparent, and honest products with a farmer's first concept. He is also the founder and chief program mentor for integrative nutrition and dietetics courses at the Lifeness Science Institute, and that skills passionate young minds. As a third generation member of the AMA committee, I am glad to share that we are celebrating our 25th year of the AMA Atira campus. And we thank Luke for being a part of this joyous celebration. I'm sure you're eagerly waiting for Luke to speak. So I would like to invite Mr. Savan Godiawala, the Vice President of AMA, to take this forward.
We can't afford to waste a single minute of Luke, right? That mic can happen. So I'm happy the gentleman has kept some 4 microphones here, knowing that the microphones have the tendency to break down. But here we are talking about not breaking down with the holistic health. And thanks, Luke, once again. Thanks, Shan, for certainly introducing, and the gentleman, the Fit India man. And of course, somebody was asking, why are you in a suit? Here is a gentleman. I said, I have to cover myself as much as possible so nobody compares me with him. So no comparison at all. So Luke, once again, thank you. And Shan has told, Dilip Bhai, thank you. Uday, thank you. Uday is the man who is under the auspices of Dilip Bhai Shah AMA Initiative of Health and Wellness that we are doing program. And thanks for sponsoring. And all credit to him to get this gentleman here in our town. Only second time in Ahmedabad, I said not acceptable. You will have to make this 4 times in next 1 year. Okay. So having said that, and so nice of him that he has so many ideas of what he can do in adding value to this city and people in terms of the knowledge that he can give and so many things we all know. Most of us are not here to see you. We are all fans of you, by the way. Okay. So here there is a fan following happening, including the one here with you on the stage. So Luke, certainly the first, I have some questions which are again coming from all of them that I have put together. And the first question to you, and there's going to be for you, and this important announcement, Luke, that there are some many mugs over here, which are going to be given away to some of you, as many the mugs that are signed by Luke. And there's some pens also over here. So we'll figure out. He asked me, whom will you give it? I said, certainly I will not do any partiality. So my family, sorry. Can you tell us about the background and how you got interested in this holistic health? So that's the basic question we naturally want to ask. That is it by design, or that you were pushed into, or was that some threat, or that this was something that you wanted to do for a larger cause? Over to you.
Hi, good evening,
And
everyone.
the gentleman keeps standing, and that's problem with me too. That I have to,
You can sit. I
no,
prefer to
don't
walk.
worry about it.
I'm not yet finished my steps for today, so I'm going to try to get there. But it's a pleasure to be here. I had this jalebi dish in the morning today. Yeah, well, what's it called? Sorry, what's it called? Yeah.
Fafda and jalebi.
Yeah. Now the point is, should I feel guilty? Yeah, I shouldn't, right? I enjoyed it. No guilt. Okay, but the problem is if I enjoy it every day without a workout, that's the problem, right? If I enjoy that, and then for lunch I have something sweet, and dinner I have something sweet again, that's the problem. That's what holistic health is all about, balance. Look around in nature. You see balance. You see extremes in nature, you see balance. There'll be a tsunami, there'll be an earthquake, but you'll see balance. We are products of nature, everyone here. We are products of nature. Our ecology within us lives in balance. If the ecology within us gets disturbed, wrong food, too much of the wrong food, stress, sedentary lifestyle, too much of workout, sleep deprivation, the system inside, which is natural, gets disrupted. That is where every problem of human health begins. Someone may say, but Luke, what about genes, genetics? 6% of 100% of the diseases, 6 to 7% are highly genetic, which means if your parents or someone in the family has it, there's a possibility you'll get it. But still, if you maintain the balance, today we know through epigenetics that some genes do not have to express themselves, like the BRCA gene when it came to breast cancer. The whole Western world said, oh no, you got to remove the breast, you need to do this. But then we realized a couple of months later, you don't have to, because everyone with that mutation doesn't have to get cancer. How does that happen? The balance within the body. So to answer your question, I did many things in life. I chose holistic health because it made sense to me. We were living in India 10 years ago, where a lot of people had access to nutritionists, the best doctors, personal trainers, chefs at home to cook their meals. But yet, people were getting sicker and sicker. Today, India leads the world when it comes to diabetes, cardiovascular, and cancer, the top 3 diseases. So why, when we have so much knowledge, access to nutritionists, superfoods, organic foods, all of these things? That's the gap that intrigued me. The gap was lifestyle. No matter what we do with food, exercise, sleep, if our lifestyle cannot maintain the balance that I spoke within, and this doesn't matter whether you're 1 year old or you're 100 years old. The fundamental is that balance. If we achieve the balance, you've heard the saying, right, that the human body heals, your own body heals you. It's true. No doctor ever heals you. No nutritionist heals you. No scientist heals you. They enable something within the body that finally heals you. You can fall down, get a cut, you put medicine on, but finally your body will heal you, right? You can get cancer, you can take chemotherapy, but finally your immune system has to kick in to make sure that the cancer doesn't come back again, right? We can have mental or emotional, I won't use the word disease right now, but our emotional health or our mental health could be low right now, okay? The work, we can take therapy, medication if required, but finally who has to decide enough is enough? I want to make a change. I don't want to live like this anymore. Us. So there's medicine within us right now. Does this mean allopathy is bad for us? Absolutely not. In holistic medicine, it respects every form of medicine. Allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, everything, Chinese medicine, but with one vision. What is right for you? If you need chemotherapy right now, you need it, but you also need to change your lifestyle. If Ayurveda can treat your liver safely without harm, that's the treatment for you. If some of you believe in homeopathy and it's giving you the results, that is for you. The point is, holistic medicine is you in the center and 360-degree view of your disease, your condition, your weight problem, your mental illness. So it intrigued me, holistic medicine, because it never made sense to me that if you have a heart problem, why do you only look at the heart? Because the heart is connected with every other organ in the body. If you have a liver problem, how can you not look at the digestive system? Today in India, 1 in 2 people have digestive issues. So we look at antacids, our favorite. We look at ajwain, jeera, sauf, all of that stuff. But we don't understand that a lot of digestive health is because of poor liver health. And 1 in 9 people have a mild fatty liver. If you have a fatty liver, you can't produce bile. If you can't produce bile, there is no way your digestive system can improve. So what I'm trying to show you is how interdependent every organ in the human body is. You have depression, you have a problem with your gut. You have a problem with your gut, you can have symptoms of depression as well. You want to feel happy? Okay, you can get high, you can do all of these things, but if you have a gut problem, you can't make serotonin, which makes you feel happy and naturally high. So now when you understand the human body, okay, you start seeing it as a very sacred vehicle. You don't just start looking at it. I treat some of the richest people in the world, by the way, and I have some funny stories about them. So I was counseling this one billionaire, and his liver's about to fail. He said, look, don't worry, just use your contacts and, book a couple of livers for me. I'll just take transplants. The point is, I'm not making fun of him. They don't understand that it's not just the liver that you need to replace. Will your body accept it? Will you get a donor? If you've not changed your lifestyle now, how many livers can you take, right? So I moved into holistic medicine because I saw a gap, which is lifestyle. And it was simple. I don't like complication. Okay, in school, I was not the best student. 10th standard, I think I passed with maybe, 69%. 12th, it went down a little more. Okay, and in college, I just barely scraped through. So I don't understand complication. I understand simplicity. And that skill has helped me look at, in a world that is filled with complication, since I don't understand complication, my mind is trained to find simplicity in everything we do. My most complicated cancer case will be solved with the simplest lifestyle changes. And that's how it is. That's how I got into the line. And today, what alarms me is, while our world is getting more and more advanced, that's the term we get to use, I want everyone to reflect on this. We have access to social media, entertainment channels, wealth has gone up, you can travel, take multiple holidays. You basically have everything at the fingertip. Swiggy, Zomato, everything. We should be happy, right? Everything's available, convenience. But emotional, mental, and physical health, the statistics tell a different story. It's at the highest. So something's wrong. The things that we think make us happy is not really the truth. So that's why I got into holistic medicine, and my encouragement to everyone out there, no matter what your age is today, if you have a problem right now, start looking at it 360 degrees. Because sometimes you'll find just by sleeping better, a lot will change in your body. By eating better. I'm not here for salads and all of that stuff. I don't do that. That's a big problem I have, actually. Whenever I travel in the world and my clients call me out, they'll bring salads and smoothies and juices, and I actually want to eat everything that's local in that place. Because health is not about salads. Health isn't about that. You have so many people doing salads and raw juice diets and stuff, they're still sick. But maybe I can use a little proportion of raw in my meals. Maybe I can use a little proportion of great protein, quality carbohydrates. It's all about balance and simplicity. So that's the reason why I moved into that.
So,
Thank you.
Look, you are in Ahmedabad, and when you say this word balance so many times, everybody starts checking their HDFC account. What is the balance? But this is much more than the balance in the bank account that he's talking about, and so important. So we're not talking about the balance that we generally Gujaratis try to interpret.
But on that, I was in New York once, and there's a big Gujarati community in New York. So pretty much like I'm in that community, and once I couldn't explain to this gentleman, very, very established businessman, and then I used the balance sheet concept of calories. That if you put so much in, profit, loss, this remains the same. He understood. He didn't do it, but yeah, he understood.
That's what I have been trying to do for 31 years, but still nobody is understanding. And I am also trying to figure out, what are the misconceptions? See, what happens is holistic health. And I told you when you entered that what you're doing is fabulous. But then I would be thinking about holistic something versus what actually it is. So what misconceptions that you come across when you consult so many of the guys who come to you, and then what is it different than this Western medicine? Okay. So misconception about holistic health, what do we know and what it is? And two is, how is it different that as the therapy or a treatment, whatever you call it, versus the Western medicine? You covered a little bit, but if you can.
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people, the misconceptions are people think holistic medicine is against allopathy. It's against what? It's not alternative medicine. Alternative medicine is either allopathy or it's either Ayurveda. Holistic medicine is integrative. So if I have a patient who's come to me for chemotherapy today, okay, he is taking his chemotherapy, our oncologists are planning the cycle, we are planning the nutrition, lifestyle, and all of a sudden he says, Luke, I have a great homeopathic doctor who says I can help with this and through this. Makes sense to him? Add it. Whatever's going to make the patient better, as long as it does not harm. It does not harm. That is the first rule of medicine. Every doctor takes an oath about do not create harm. So holistic medicine looks at everything possible that can heal the patient, which is based on science. Sometimes it's based on spirituality. I've had clients who have meditated their cancer away. I have clients who have visualized their diabetes away. Now, can we say that it'll work for everyone? Maybe not, but it's possible. So now if I add visualization to my healing method, along with allopathy, I have a stronger system of medicine. So holistic is what works for a person. What works for a person? Some people have faith, religion. They said, so I treated the sheikh's sister who had cancer in Dubai. Okay? She refused to do chemotherapy. The doctor said, you'll have 2 weeks left to live. She said, my religion says that you've lived so long, don't destroy your body with chemotherapy. I'm ready to die. I put my faith in God. She lived for 2.5 years on simple nutrition, simple everything, and she didn't die of cancer. She died of a heart attack. So now here's an example of faith. So someone who's religious will also use faith in their healing plan. So holistic looks at everything that works for your condition, your root cause. And a big difference between holistic medicine is it tries to find the root cause of your problem. Allopathy treats the symptom. There's nothing wrong about that. The job of allopathy is to treat the symptom. You have a headache, take a pill. You have a fatty liver, take a medicine. You have a cholesterol issue, take a statin. Ethically, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. I wish doctors would also say, also change your lifestyle. A lot of them do, a lot of them don't. But in holistic medicine, we try to find out why do you have cholesterol? Why do you have a headache all the time? Why do you have a fatty liver? You know, there is something that you're doing in your lifestyle that's causing it. Now, once we find the root cause of the problem, you can solve it then. So for example, someone who has a low immune system because of sleep deprivation, do you think more vitamin C and zinc is the solution? Or do you think better sleep is the solution? Better sleep. So holistic medicine is about educating people, finding out the root cause so that you can make changes according to the root cause. So a lot of people say, hey, Luke, you know, I should not drink alcohol. I should not smoke. I should not do. Of course, there are certain things that you can do. But then life shows you people who are living at 100 years old and 95 having 2 pegs of whiskey every day, no disease. Now, you would use the justification about I can do it. But you got to look at their lifestyle. They're also working out. They've taken care of their health. They eat simple, very little outside food. They sleep on time. They don't miss their walks. So you see, holistic medicine is very individual. The word that I want to talk about is bio-individuality. Everyone in this room is unique. There are no 2 identical twins who have same thumbprints. That's why biometrics works. What does this mean? Everyone is unique. I can't tell you carbs are bad. I can't tell any of you that carbs are better in the morning and less at night. There are some bodies that are carb efficient at night. And there are some bodies that are carb efficient in the morning. You can't say protein is great for everyone, more protein, more muscle. You know, so many people who have protein shakes and they still have no sign of muscle. Because the point is everyone's body is different. You can't say 8 hours of sleep for everyone. It's not true. Some bodies need 6 hours of sleep because they sleep deeply. Some people sleep 9 hours, but they're still tired. So is it really the quantity or is it the quality? So holistic is very personalized. It understands you as a person and tries to align the lifestyles, the medication according to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would believe that holistic health and living would help people do multitasking, right? And that is why I'm asking you a question, and simultaneously I would like you to sign off one mug. So you can do some multitasking also while we are doing it. I don't want him to be taxed later to sign so many of them, so we can keep on doing while we're talking. If you have to guide, us, that what are the small, simple changes that we can do in our daily routine that will help us go towards, if not totally to, the holistic way of living. Yeah. And you mentioned something, eating outside very less. Please delete that.
Yeah.
Very difficult for this crowd. But yes,
Okay.
what are the simple, small routine changes that you would recommend that we should be doing?
So my answer is not dependent on me, it's dependent on anatomy. It's never about what we want. It's about what trillions of cells in the human body need for survival. Okay? Right now, whatever goal you have for health, your body doesn't care whether you want a six-pack, size 0 figure, your skin needs to get tight. It doesn't care. It cares about one thing, survival. Every second of the day, this is what's happening in your body. There is only one job. How do I keep this body alive? That's what's happening. So remember I spoke about environment? When that environment in your body is perfect, your system's working with intelligence, harmony. The moment that environment is disrupted, there's disharmony. So now what I'm giving you is what the human body needs, not what I think you need. Okay? There are 4 fundamentals, whether you're a child, whether you're an elderly person, whether you have a cancer, whether you're completely healthy. The fundamentals are, number 1, nutrition. Keep it simple. If you're an athlete, then you need to eat according to the game that you're playing. Trying to build a body, you'll need supplements, you'll need proteins, because that's what your job requires you to do. For everyone, okay, go back to the time you were a child. From the time you stopped breastfeeding on your mum to the time you grew up into a young teenager, reflect back. If you were healthy, happy, no health problems, that is the same food you should be eating today. It's in your DNA. Why do you need to change it? It grew you from a kid to a young adult. There's no need to change it. That's the basics. That is in your DNA. You don't have to. Now you want to achieve certain goals, play more games, you'll make slight tweaks to your diet plan. Or, of course, if you've put on a lot of weight because of poor lifestyle, you'll have to make changes to come back down. Nutrition, there are just 2 things that cells in the body require. Oxygen from the air that you breathe and nutrients from the food that you eat. That is the fundamental of nutrition. So if I'm eating junk food, am I getting nutrients for trillions of cells? No. Am I getting fiber for my gut? No. The biggest issue of junk food is there is no fiber in it, right? That's why you'll see the new cookies advertised with 2 grams of fiber, because that's the new marketing thing, right? The point is, you can have junk food. Primary 90% of your diet should come from natural food. The balanced 10% have your ice cream, have your chips, have whatever you want. The body can deal with it. But if your diet is the opposite way around, where 10% is fruit, you understand. Your cells don't get what they need. If your cells don't get what they need, now you have a hormonal imbalance. With a hormonal imbalance, you can have weight gain, weight loss, hair fall, skin problems, liver problems, every problem, because hormones communicate. It's like in a relationship. Can it function with poor communication? No. Can your relationship function? It can function, but not the way it's supposed to. Can your organizations and your business function the right way if there is a breakdown in communication? No. What happens in the body when there's a breakdown in communication? The wrong stuff happens. The wrong messages go. All of a sudden, your thyroid slows down, your BP goes up. So nutrition is important. Keep it simple. A plate should have the right amount of quality carbohydrates, protein, fat. Your micronutrients come from colors, vegetables, fruits, in balance for you. Highly diabetic, you may not be able to enjoy all the fruits. You may have to just do low GI fruits. It's different for everyone. How you eat is also very important. If you're not chewing your food, you're not extracting nutrients from the food that you eat. And then you have burping, indigestion, and all of those problems. If you're eating at the wrong time every day, if you're eating too often, if you're skipping meals, all this is a part of nutrition. It's affecting energy that your body wants for survival. Like I said, your body doesn't care that you have an extra meeting. It cares that it gets its lunch at the right time for survival. It doesn't know. Your conscious mind, oh, I have a meeting, I need to take it, I'll skip my meal. That's for your conscious mind. But your autonomic nervous system, which is your intelligence of the body, realizes, I've not eaten. Now it goes into stress mode because it doesn't know when it's going to get the next meal. In that time, your BP's gone up, your blood sugar level's gone up, your cholesterol's gone up, you're in the sympathetic nervous system, your cortisol has gone up, because your body doesn't know when you're going to get the next meal, because the rhythm is broken. So when it comes to nutrition, if you have intolerance to certain foods, you don't eat it. Or you look at why you have gut issues. That's the first fundamental of the human body. Nutrition. Too much sugar, I don't have to explain what's going to happen, right? How many of you have sugar in your diet and yet you have no problems medically? with weight, parameters, all of that stuff. So is sugar a problem, or is the overconsumption of sugar a problem? Right? It's always overconsumption or underconsumption, not of sugar, of other nutrients. Okay? The second fundamental is exercise. A lot of people get turned off with the word exercise because it means I need to go to the gym. So let's use the word movement. If you are not moving, you are losing. If you don't use your brain, okay, your brain cells start to die. If you don't use muscle, you start to waste muscle. You know the word longevity that everyone's talking about today? How do I live longer? And you come across complicated nutraceuticals, mononucleosides, CoQ10s, all of that stuff. Muscle equals longevity. Muscle equals no osteoporosis. Muscle equals bone health. Now, I'm not talking about big muscle. Don't get worried. You don't have to go to the gym. I'm talking about movement that stimulates muscle. What stimulates muscle? Walking, jogging, Zumba, squash, games, lifting weights. Any exercise that stimulates muscle is the most important and critical workout. Now, you may say, I have a knee problem. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you can't do squats. Maybe you can't do lunges. You can still work out your upper body. The point is stimulating muscle. And that's why every exercise program should have cardiovascular for the heart and lungs, and it must have resistance training. Some people like to lift weights, that's fine. Some people like to use resistance bands, that's fine. Some people like to do body weight, push-ups, squats, pull-ups, that's also fine. Some people like to dance, that's also fine. Some people like to walk, but that walking may not be enough if you have a sitting job for the rest of the day because you're sedentary for more. So you got to challenge muscle. Think of anything, what you like to challenge muscle, and that is great for you. Exercise. In the exercise part, holistic flexibility. A big issue in India today is as people age, they have a problem even getting up from a chair. Okay, you have a genuine problem, it's fine, but why? Why is this problem there? Because people have lower back problems and people have weak leg muscles. Now, your leg muscles are the most important. That's how you walk, that's how you move. You want to have them when you're 100 years old. But the point is, if you're not training them, you're losing them. Walking alone may not be sufficient. You may have to do leg exercises. You know, so it's very important to understand exercise as holistic as well. There is resistance training, training for endurance, stamina, flexibility, mobility. Another huge problem in India, you suddenly bend down to pick something and, you know, or your shoulder. And so why? No mobility. A lot of people can't even lift a bag today because of weak shoulders, mobility. You need to think today. In the next 10 years, how do I want to live? What's the quality of my life? Okay? And that answer is, it starts today. What I do today is going to determine the next 5 and 10 years of my life. What I do today is going to determine the next 15 years of my life. You can't reach the age of 50, 60 and say, you can still start then. The body's resilient. But it's called prevention. That's exercise. So the human body needs that. Why? Blood circulation. If you don't have blood circulation, you can't carry oxygen and nutrients from the food that you eat to trillions of cells in the body. Remember? The body needs two things for survival. Oxygen, nutrients. How does it carry it to trillions of cells? Blood. How does blood flow? The heart's a pump. So when I exercise, I'm able to pump blood, which will now move to trillions of cells in the human body. How many of you do yoga? When you do inversions, how do you feel after that? Energized? Why? Blood rush to the head. Oxygen. You see, dynamics of the human body. Simple exercise done with consistency. Consistency over intensity. If you are consistent with the small things, that's all you need to do. You do not need to go intensive. So now you may say like, oh, I have so much weight to lose. Like this exercise is not enough. I need to lift heavy weights. No. Just be consistent. Show up every day. Be regular. And that is the first start of your journey. The third fundamental, which is the most important, is sleep. Okay? A lot of people say that, Luke, why sleep? My question is, if we didn't need to sleep, the human body would not demand it, right? It's necessary. Everyone's not Elon Musk. We need to understand that. He can sleep for 4 hours. There are some people in the world who have a gene that doesn't allow them to sleep more than a particular time, 3 to 4, and they're absolutely fine. And that's what I mean. We're not all Elon Musks. We don't have that gene. I'm sure everyone has capabilities to one day be where he is. Great, I'm happy. But don't think you have that gene, because everyone doesn't have that gene. Sleep is the crux of the human body. And I'll tell you why. All the green juices that you do to detoxify, all the cleanse plans, all the detox, all of that stuff, sleep does it automatically. You don't need to detoxify. Your body detoxifies while you sleep. How do we know that? Wake up in the morning. Why does your breath smell? Why do you have dirt between your eyes? If your body's working in rhythm, why do you want to poop first thing in the morning? Because while you're sleeping, detoxification happens. All the waste is collected. And when you wake up in the morning, you need to get rid of that waste from your body by visiting the toilet. Dirt from your eyes, product of detoxification. Bad breath. Your oral microbiome was replenishing. Your first urine will be warmer, flushing out all the toxins or whatever from the kidney. If I'm sleep deprived, I have incomplete detoxification. That's why Ayurveda stresses on sleep, natural detoxification. Hormonal balance, which is one of the biggest causes of lifestyle disease in India. You know, most people are not sick because of diet, lack of exercise alone. They're sick because of a hormonal imbalance. Look at the breast cancers in our country. ER positive, estrogen dominant. What's that? A hormonal imbalance. Prostate cancers, hormonally driven cancers. Liver cancers, endometriosis. All of these issues are caused by an imbalance on hormones. Let's move into a little the emotional space. Violence happening in our country. The ghastly murders that we see. You can blame it, oh, he watched Netflix, he watched that program and he's doing it. No. Your hormones have to be at a different level to make you commit a crime like that. It's hormonally driven. Every behavior is hormonally driven. I say something funny, you laugh. It involves hormones. I say something sad, you'll get sad. It's hormonally driven. Sleep balances hormones. That's why a lot of young girls and women who are sleep deprived have PCOS. What is that? A hormonal imbalance. Infertility, huge in our country. Genuine reasons. Sometimes you're infertile, take IVF, go through treatments that can help you. But so many, by changing lifestyle, deliver a baby naturally. If you're sleep deprived, you have a hormonal imbalance. Your progesterone, which is required for the birth of a baby, is not in place. Your prolactin levels are high. You cannot conceive. Sleep deprivation can contribute to all these problems. Men, you're working out, you're doing everything, but you're not losing weight. You're sleep deprived, you have low testosterone. Now, if you have low testosterone, it's not just a problem of muscle and weight. Brain fog, non-clarity, emotional. And now men, like Western people, will start to, oh, it's a midlife crisis, Luke. It's not a midlife crisis. You have low testosterone. Like women, when they go through menopause or their period cycle, they can get emotional. Why? There's a fluctuation of hormones, progesterone, estrogen. It causes you to either be happy, be sad, be moody. When you go through menopause, men also go through that. So if you have low testosterone levels, guess what? You're a potential candidate for osteoporosis, hair fall, excess belly weight, weak bones, sleeplessness, mental health problems, because testosterone is the major hormone for a man and estrogen is the major hormone for a woman. So when it's out of balance, it's an issue. What balances this naturally? Sleep. That's why when you sleep well, how many of you feel your most amazing self when you've had a night of great sleep? Come on, put your hands up. Right? You feel like $1 billion. I don't know how that feels yet to become Elon Musk, but you know, my point is you feel like amazing, right? The point is that's what sleep does. Mood, your serotonin. When you wake up sleep deprived, are you a happy person? You're snappy, you're angry. Now let's move to nutrition. If I'm sleep deprived, there is no way I'm craving an apple. There is no way I'm craving healthy food. Why? The body's tired, the brain wants energy. What is the quickest energy to the brain? Sugar, carbohydrates. That is why you will crave cookies, donuts, all the junk food, and you'll want, what's wrong with me? Why am I craving? You're craving because your brain wants quick energy, because you're sleep deprived. When you're sleep deprived, you have two hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Leptin makes you feel full. Ghrelin signals hunger. When you're sleep deprived, leptin is suppressed. So you never get the feeling of feeling full. That's why you go on eating. And ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, is elevated, which is why you constantly feel hungry. Now you say, oh, I have an emotional problem. I'm hungry all the time. No, you're just sleep deprived. You don't have to make another emotional problem. So the point is sleep is everything. And again, it's not what I'm saying. Infants, how long do they sleep? Babies, 16 hours? And then as they grow, it comes down to 9, 8, 7 hours. Okay, the point is, if a baby is sleep deprived, their immune system is literally disabled. So understand the importance of sleep. The fourth fundamental is emotional wellness. This is at the top. 9 years ago when I started my practice, I would say nutrition is everything. Today, it's 5% of the game. 95% of the game is what's going on in your mind. Because if you're happy, you will make the right choices. You will work out. When you're sad and emotional, chronically, are you going to crave healthy food? No. Are you going to do that workout? You'll have to push yourself. You'll need 10 YouTube videos to put your shoes on to get to the gym. But the next day, you can't watch 10 videos again. The point is everything starts here, including disease. Including disease. The point is, your mind is the most important part of what you do. I love interviewing people who have crossed the age of 90, 95, and 100 because, science can teach you a lot, but here you have a real life example of a person who's beat every odd to live to 100 years. You know the one commonality I found about that? No, nothing in diet. They've all eaten their stuff. They've all done regular stuff like us. Happy people. They've learned to let go. They've learned to accept. For them, their mental state of mind is the most important thing. So if you have a problem with the mental state of mind, it will impact you at a physical level, every level, including spiritual level. It'll impact you. So the point is, these are the four fundamentals. So now, everyone in the crowd today, your job is very simple. Introspect, these four fundamentals. Where should I improve? Okay, nutrition, I can improve this. Do it, small wins. Exercise, where can I improve? Start small. Sleep, where can I improve? Emotional wellness, where can I improve? Little actions that you take in these four fundamentals is what we use and is what our success is today in every disease that we treat. Lifestyle. Now you can make it complicated, or you can start with simplicity. Most people want complicated, but they've not done the fundamentals. First, put the fundamentals in place. If that's not working, then take the next step. Then move to the next step. So these are the four fundamentals for everyone and for every single disease.
Wow. That was a course by itself. Yeah, thank you. And simplicity, of course, that you mentioned something, when we were coming here. Simplicity is the new luxury, right? That's what if I mistake not, that exactly what you said. So, of course, you mentioned simplicity is very important and make it simple and nutritional and, of course, wellness and stuff. And a lot of colors you said in the diet. So we are taking him to some Gujarati thali. He will see how many colors they are. So my next question is that this mental health is so important, right? Mental health now, whether it's cognitive behavior as a therapy, as a formal therapy coming in from the psychiatrist's world, or the holistic health. How do you treat the mental health? And we are seeing a lot of cases, readings that we are seeing that there are issues. So how does this holistic health regime help mental health? And also, I would club a question because I want to open it up for the house also to ask some questions to grab the mugs also. And I would add the question that how does spirituality add to this holistic health?
So mental health and emotional health. The word I want to leave all of y'all with this evening is perception. Okay, when you start looking at what's happening in the world with a different lens, you'll find a lot of your answers in life, a lot of truth, like perception. People said you could never reverse type 2 diabetes. Today there are hundreds and thousands of people who have reversed it, right? Perception change. Because if you get onto a medication and you think you have to take it for a lifetime, that's what your mind believes. People said you can never reverse thyroid. Hundreds and thousands of people are no longer on thyroid medication. People say fourth stage cancer means 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 year, 2 years. We all know there are thousands of people who have beat those odds, right? Perception. When we succumb and become victims of society's set ideals, that's where fear, insecurity, all the problems come. Because all of us are looking at life, most of us, with the same lens. That, I'm in a breakup. Now I have to go through depression. No, you don't have to go through depression. You can feel sad. It doesn't mean you're depressed. You can feel grief. You can feel hurt. You can feel betrayed. But using the word, I'm depressed now, what does that tell your subconscious mind? Depression is real. There are some people who actually have an imbalance in their serotonin and dopamine. There's bipolar, there's schizophrenic. They need medication. There's no doubt about that. But the hugest population that goes with depression today need help, guidance, and a change of perception. Because I'll tell you one thing, only you can change that problem. Your therapist can show you the mirror, give you techniques, do everything, but only you can wake up and decide enough is enough. I got betrayed on in this relationship, okay? It's not the only girl or boy in the world. It's tough, but let me take the next action to get my life back on track. The problem today with depression, emotional health, and mental health is the attitude. Most people are playing the role of a victim. I'm a victim. How could you do this? How? Yes, you are. All of us are victims of something that happens bad to us, okay? But how long we choose to stay a victim is completely up to us. Let me give you the history of a cancer patient. When we get a cancer patient, what happens in the mind of a patient who gets diagnosed? I'm saying cancer because, of course, it comes with its own fear. So first the patient goes through shock. How can it be me? Okay, then denial. No, this can't be happening. I need a second opinion, third opinion. Then anger, a little depression, all of that stuff. Finally, acceptance. And only when they reach acceptance psychologically can those patients actually start to get better. And this is the phase of all of us in life. Your business doesn't go well, someone cheated you, in a relationship, in business, you're actually going to go through the same cycle of these emotions. How fast you reach acceptance is the magic pill. If you choose not to reach acceptance, you are a victim of the problem. You're a slave of the problem. The second thing you need to remind yourself is, are you in control of what's happening? Most people's stress in mental illness is because you want to be in control. How can this person do this? How can she say that? There's good and evil in the world. All of you agree? There's good and evil. Have you ever wondered how a person is capable of both? Everyone in this room, myself included, everyone is capable of good and evil. Everyone. Let me explain this, because if you're stuck with a mental problem or emotional, you'll find your solution over here. Humans are given something called free will. You know what free will is, right? We can decide what we want. We can think. With free will comes creativity. This is what animals don't have. Animals don't have creativity. Okay, we have creativity. This creativity can be used two ways. I can create goodness. I can create beauty in the world. I can also create evil and destruction. So when I'm in love now, every hypothetical situation, okay? Everything's going well in my relationship. I create romantic memories. I create doing good stuff with my partner, all of that stuff. Now I get hurt or betrayed. That same creative mind now wants revenge, bitterness, resentment comes up. The same mind is capable with a stimulation to now create the most destructive thoughts. Partners over here, many married people, okay? Wife, husband, fight. Now the silent treatment that the wife gives you, or now even husbands give silent treatments to wife, it's two ways, okay? What is that silent treatment that you're giving? It's indirectly punishment. It's revenge. You hurt me, I'm not talking to you. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with this, but see what's happening. Or you fire someone in your company, okay? And that person is now like, I don't want to work. He starts reducing his work in the company. It's a kind of a revenge. Oh, my manager shouted at me. I'm not going to work so hard anymore. Humans are doing this all the time. All the time. The point is to be aware of this. So when something bad has happened to you, okay, the first solace is understanding that it can happen. Your business can fail. It can also do well. You may find 10 girls or boys that you have to date before you find the perfect one. But the first one can also become your permanent life partner. So when you live life with an understanding that we are not entitled to anything, anything can happen to us at any given point. We will still be hurt, but now we won't be a victim that, how could this happen to me? Of course it can happen to you. Who the hell are you? Great things happen to everyone. Bad things happen to everyone too. Some of the most famous people in the world are hit with stuff. There's no difference. We have to live with that understanding. That dissolves entitlement. When you can dissolve entitlement, that is where inner peace is. I'm not even talking spirituality. There are two words, acceptance and letting go. Anyone in this room who has stress right now, just tag, if I accept this, how will my life change? If I let go of this or this person, how will my life change? You will find your answer there. But now if you're not accepting and letting go, what do you have? Resistance. Where there is resistance, there is chaos. Social media can be constructive and highly destructive based on who you follow. There are thirst traps on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, changing the way young people and even elderly people think about life. You spend 15 minutes on social media without mindfulness, you'll say, this world is horrible. How can we even live here anymore? That's your 15 minutes based on a few accounts that you follow. That's not the truth. So when you break down emotional and mental health, take help, take therapy, all of that. But understand one thing. You need to do the work. You need to wake up one day and decide enough is enough and move on. Because I'll tell you what, if it was a problem, everyone should be mentally stressed. Everyone should have emotional issues. There are some people who have it and some people don't. The difference is what that person decides to do. Change in attitude, drop of entitlement, acceptance, letting go. This is the basis of spirituality, since you asked me that as the last question. There's a big difference between religion and spirituality. I'll tell you what my spirituality is. It's very simple, because I'm obviously in the health field. A lot of people say, Luke, I'm spiritual, I do this, I read this, read that. Great. I ask them first, spirituality starts with respect for the body. That is a gift of life. That is a gift of life. If you can't respect your body, every part of spirituality becomes superficial. I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, but think about it. You've been given a gift. There are many of you, people out there in the world who don't even have that gift of health. They're born blind, they're born dumb, they're born without an organ, they're born handicapped. But right now, you may have a little fatty liver, this, that, you still have a gift of life. It starts with respect. Because when you learn to respect yourself, then can you truly respect everyone else. Otherwise, it's pretense. And that's why relationships get difficult. At work, families, everywhere. Because we need to pretend, oh, I have to behave this. This is respectful. It should come naturally, right? So when you start with yourself, you know, self-love. Love yourself first. Love yourself. No, that's all rubbish. You respect yourself first. Because a lot of people in love that, oh, it's okay how I look. It's fine. I love myself. I accept. Oh, you have diabetes, man. You need to change. It is not self-love. It is self-respect. When you respect yourself, you don't need motivation. Okay, I know I'm speaking in Gujarat right now, so is a Rolex watch like really good, or should I move to a Rolls Royce? Like as a Bora, excellent, okay, fine. So if I had to gift all of y'all a Rolls, no, because I was at a session in Orissa, and I said, if I have to gift everyone a Rolex watch, they looked at me like Rolex, and everyone was like, they already had one, so I was like, okay, I need to up it. Like, okay, so let's say you get my point, right? If I gift everyone a Rolls Royce right now, wow, it's a car. Do I need to motivate you to look after it? No. You will take care of it for some time. Why? Because it has value. So when people say, Luke, I'm not motivated to look after my health, the point is because you've not assigned enough of value to you. Do I need to motivate you to love your children? Exactly. Why? They're valuable to you. You've assigned value to them. So anything you assign value to in life, you don't need motivation because you're already inspired. So you can watch 10 YouTube videos every day and still never get motivated. But you can do a mindset change of, I value myself. My spirituality is respect for my body. So I may go out to McDonald's, I may have a small fries, but if I'm overindulging, eating fries, and I know what's next and eat, disrespect. Pure. I'm not here to say don't eat, don't indulge. But why overindulge? Why extra? Why? That's greed, right? So the whole point of spirituality, we can talk for hours about this. Start with the human self. If your body's sleep deprived and you're feeling horrible, your behavior is disrupting other people around you, your family members, your kids, your friends, you're being disrespectful because you don't respect yourself. Sleep better, behave better. That's how it is. That is the first step of spirituality in any religion. The second step, since we spoke about it, is every religion talks about acceptance and letting go. Every single religion. The funny part is people want to reach the complexity of religion and spirituality and not practice the basics. If you start to accept and let go right now, most of your problems in life will still be there, but you're not attached to it anymore. Because you don't care, you've accepted it. You don't care, you've let go of it. There's no emotional attachment. But people jump straight to the spiritual path. Oh, I'm trying to detach myself from worldly goods. You can't. Willpower has a shelf life. But if I practice acceptance, I'm going to buy this car because I love the sound of the engine. I like driving fast. Intention. Versus, I need to buy this car because my neighbor's got a better car. Wrong intention. Emotional attachment. So spend your money. I don't think spirituality is ever about not aspiring for more. It is about intention. You're here. One life on this planet. Make it big. Use it well. But enjoy it. There are so many people who have so much, but they're empty inside. Why? Intentions are wrong. You can't feel happy, but intentions are right. I want to buy a Rolex watch because I love it. It's valuable to me. All of that. You'll enjoy it. But you want to buy it now, and now tomorrow your friend buys a watch better than a Rolex watch. You don't care about your Rolex watch anymore. The point is, spirituality starts with self-respect, intention, acceptance, letting go. These are the basics. First perfect that, then you can go into the depth of spirituality, and it fills you. It doesn't leave you searching more and more and more. Emptiness makes us search more and more. Fulfillment, you start to enjoy and be content with what you have. That's it.
Fabulous. Thank you. It's very important whom you follow, right, on the social media. And Luke, most of us follow you. And not only that, my wife will take my exam every day. What did you follow today? And I have to answer also what did Luke said today. Having said that, Luke, I will open it up. I have some questions, but I will open it up. Maybe we can take few questions. Anybody? Or we want to circulate the microphone? Yes, the gentleman here. Yes, please. You can speak out loud to save time. Or yes, there's a here.
Hello. First of all, Luke, it's a pleasure to have you in our Gujaland. And we hope to see more of you in coming years.
Thank you.
I love the way you talk about the sleep. Now, majority of us, are stressed out with a lot of things of life. Mm-hmm. We do get enough sleep, but is there a trick, which we can follow for a long-term, better sleep in a quality, not a quantity? Is there a tip that you can
That's a great question. So I'm just going to take 2 minutes to answer this because there's another fundamental I want to leave you all with. So, yeah.
That's on the Vegas now.
On the way, yeah, it's similar. Good point. So you have the central nervous system in the body. There's the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. All of us have it. Okay? Sympathetic is fight and flight. So if we bring a lion right now and keep it in this auditorium, there are exactly 2 ways that everyone will react. Some of you will appear to run. Some of you will prepare to fight. It's called a fight and flight. So now that lion can be your wife, your husband, your kid, your boss, different forms of stress. Okay? Remember that. All right? Now, I'm in the sympathetic nervous system. What happens? You need to understand this because it's related to all lifestyle disease. When I'm in the sympathetic nervous system, my blood pressure automatically goes up. My cortisol and adrenaline automatically goes up. My blood sugar levels go up. My body produces more cholesterol. This is to protect you. Because if I have to run or if I have to fight, where's the energy going to come from? We create energy through this process. Okay? Now the lion's dead or the lion's eaten a couple of people and moved out. The stress is over. Cortisol comes down, signaling to the body, there's no more threat. And now my blood pressure comes down, my sugar levels, cholesterol, and I move into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest, digest, regenerate. These are 2 systems, okay? Now, the parasympathetic nervous system, when I'm in that system, my digestive system is working 100%. I can produce digestive enzymes, insulin is secreted by the pancreas the right way, I can fall asleep easily if I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system. Do you think you can fall asleep easily in the sympathetic? Impossible. You may still sleep. You say, Luke, I'm stressed, I sleep, but you're not getting quality sleep because your body is fatigued, but the mind is still awake. So to sleep, to digest, and to repair, whether it's cancer, surgery, your body's repairing, that can only happen in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is why your doctors say, go home and rest. After a surgery, go home and rest. Because everyone knows regeneration and repair can only happen in the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, fast forward to modern life. You wake up stressed, you go to office stressed, stressful meetings, come home. Now you're in the sympathetic nervous system right through. What do you think is going to happen when you spend so much time in the sympathetic nervous system? Everything. High blood pressure, cholesterol, sugar. Now you're stressed out and you eat. Can you digest food in the sympathetic nervous system? No. So you have indigestion. See, this is how the human body works. So coming back to your question, to sleep, number one, we need to create. How do we get into the parasympathetic nervous system? We have something. Has anyone heard of the vagus nerve? You know, it's a very important nerve. The vagus nerve helps us move from sympathetic to parasympathetic. How do I stimulate the vagus nerve? Okay, so you've had a very stressful day. That's why it is important for everyone, no matter how stressful your day is, 1 hour before bedtime, you need to cut off. That's your sacred time. Can't do 1 hour, do 30 minutes. Now, what do you do in this 30 minutes? Phones off. Because you got to disconnect from the virtual world where all your stress is. You may want to say, oh, let's check out the latest Maldives pictures, and all of a sudden you see some horrible stuff which starts stressing you out. That's how social media works, right? You don't just get to see the good stuff. Now, to be in the parasympathetic nervous system, I got to create it. Deep breathing is the easiest way to move from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And I'll tell you how. So right now, all of you, we're in a meeting, and there's something really stressful happening. But I can still be in the parasympathetic nervous system because I'm breathing slowly. My inhale and my exhale is slow and controlled. I will stay in the parasympathetic nervous system because when we get stressed, what signals the body to change? Breath. Whenever you're stressed, you realize your breathing gets shallow. That's how the body gets the signal. Luke is stressed, cortisol, adrenaline, high blood pressure, all of that. So when I slow down my breathing, you can be in the most stressful meeting, but you're slow inhale, slow exhale. You can trick the body in being the parasympathetic nervous system. That also helps me to sleep. We have two nostrils, left and right. If I close the right nostril and I breathe through the left nostril, 15, 20 breaths, not anulom vilom, not alternate nostril breathing. The left moves me to the parasympathetic nervous system. Now let's say I'm in a boring meeting and I can't keep my eyes open. If I switch and I breathe through my right nostril, I energize my body. This is why pranayama in our own country is literally medicine. Today, top psychologists and psychiatrists in the US teach pranayama to their patients. It's unbelievable. The point is, coming back to your answer, you need to calm the body down before. So you have to detach. So what really works is, let's say tomorrow is a stressful day. Write it down. What do you need to do next day? You're emptying onto a piece of paper, or you're typing it into your phone, but hopefully your phone is off. Deep breathing. Anything that's relaxing, calming, warm shower. You need to create the environment. Otherwise, it is impossible. It's impossible. That's why sleeping pills don't always work, right? It should always work. But even in the parasympathetic, if you're not in the parasympathetic nervous system, the sleeping pill cannot work. So that's how it is. So you need to calm down the body. Deep breathing is one of the best. You can do alternate nostril breathing. Left nostril breathing is very, very powerful. 15 to 20 breaths. Please understand, it's not going to work like a sleeping pill, so don't give up on day one. You need to do it a couple of times. Anything natural takes a little bit of effort and time. The third most important, darkness. Because the darker your room, it stimulates melatonin. Melatonin puts us to sleep. So what I usually do is, I don't like an eye mask because I don't like anything around my head. I just roll up a shirt, simplicity, and I just put it over my eyes. So no matter, I live in Mumbai where the light pollution is huge. No matter how good your curtains are, there's going to be light that creeps in. The point is, darkness, you will sleep like a baby. That stimulates melatonin. So these are some of the things that you can do. See, chamomile tea, all of these things. You can have as much as you want, but if you're in the sympathetic nervous system, by now you understand it's not going to work. So learning to relax is very important. In fact, the more stress you have in life, it's okay. But all the more you need to learn how to relax, create relaxation pockets. So let me put it this way. Longevity, prevention, recovery from disease in simple ways is, how can I spend more time in the parasympathetic nervous system? That is your free medicine. Because what happens? You harness the intelligence of your own body to work for you. That's how it works. So I hope that helps you.
Fabulous. And it's about quality, right? It's not just the quantity of the state that you're saying, the sleep or so.
Yeah,
The
it's a quality.
Quality. It's not about 10 hours that quite a bit of us may be doing. Any other question? Yes. So maybe, gentlemen, you don't forget to pick up your mug later, right? And yes, please. No.
Nowadays, we come across so many young people and muscular men are dying with the heart attacks. So, I mean, while exercising, while gymming, even also we got to know about the few celebrities as well while exercising. And so, what could be the reasons? I mean, young people, why is it happening?
Many reasons. People like to blame it on the vaccination. Has some truth, no doubt. But you don't know the lifestyles of these people who only portray that they're working out in gyms. Most of them are sleep deprived. Most of them are vaping and smoking like chimneys. Most of them have undetected high blood pressure because of poor lifestyle. And many of them are using anabolics and banned substances. The media will never show you this. The point is, why aren't the other people dying? Anyone exercising heavy should die then, right? Because there are always triggers. The media shows you what they want to show you. The point is, you need to go into the lifestyle. Sleep deprivation and cardiac arrests are directly correlated with each other. So today people want to party, drink, vape, smoke, 3 hours of sleep, and then go to the gym and lift heavy. What do you think is going to happen? There are many, many reasons. And yes, coming to COVID, if you went through COVID and you suffered from a side effect of extreme fatigue post-COVID, take it easy, because there's something called mitochondrial dysfunction, and that can lead to a cardiac arrest if you don't take your time to recover. So a lot of people with that fatigue started working out heavy, mitochondrial dysfunction, inflammation, cardiac arrest. But that's not the only reason. There are many in our country. The use of anabolic steroids to have a quick six-pack and build their body is huge. It's an unregulated market. And what does that do first? Heart rate can go up to 200, 250. Then people have got into the new habit of taking caffeine pills before the workout, because caffeine pills give you energy. But if you're already sleep deprived, you wake up with high cortisol and you take caffeine, what's your heart is beating more than... There are many, many reasons. And so I always look for different reasons. Why is it not happening to some people? Why is it happening to one particular group? There will always be some...
The last row, gentleman.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you so much. Thank you from the world, because you've done a world of good for everyone.
Thank you.
One round of applause for Luke once again. So having heard you a lot and having met you, and I have a case, my wife has been treated by Luke, so we met you then. Yeah. Can I ask you a question about how do you deal with grief of loss of somebody close to you? Yeah. So what happens to the body and how do you get out of it?
Okay. So it's a beautiful question. I can't preach on this subject because I would never understand the grief and pain that happens with a lost child. But I can tell you how it works from experience, because we have clients who have lost infants and sons and daughters with cancer and vice versa. What is the definition of grief? Grief is nothing but sadness which is enhanced and regret. A lot of regret. That I could have done this, or I should have done this. A lot of guilt. The beauty, there's no beauty in grief actually, but that emotion doesn't cause sickness like other emotions like resentment, guilt, anger, negativity, bitterness. Those are deadly emotions. They have a direct correlation with all diseases. Grief is a process. I would say that the people come out of grief will use spirituality as a tool, understanding as a tool, to get out of it. I can't preach on this subject, but the people who have gotten out of grief have used spirituality as a way, because no one can tell you what can do. No amount of empathy, no amount of sympathy. It's a very personal journey. But you speaking to people, a lot of support groups that I notice, because US hospitals have a lot of support groups for this. When people started, talking about their pain to other people of grief, you always found someone had a worse story than you. And in that, you find compassion. So there are many ways. I really can't preach on that subject because I don't know how I would handle it, but that is a process that I've seen. If anyone likes to read now, get a copy of this book called The Buddha's Wife. I don't know if you've read it. You will understand the worst suffering, grief, and a way out of it. It's a very deep book, but I hope you feel good. Thank you.
Yes, please. Yeah. The lady coming up, yeah.
My dream come true. I have been following you since many years. I have your top fan badge also. And look, I just means there are many myths whether to have breakfast. You start your day with this lemon water. You have this panta bhat, which you have recommended, that fermented rice. Now there are so many things I know that it is very different for different people. But can you suggest a common way?
It's different for everyone. There are hundreds of people who don't eat lemon water in the morning and they're super healthy. There are hundreds of people who
And
have
everybody
lemon water.
common also?
Sorry?
And everybody is common? No.
And they have the common problems, yeah.
No,
See,
but
the
like
point...
alkaline, what do you suggest as a whole? Like,
See, I'm not going to give you a diet for sure, but what I'm going to suggest is the first thing that you put in your body in the morning depends on how your blood sugar levels, cortisol is going to be. When you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar levels are already high and cortisol is high. So if you put a carbohydrate in your body, like a refined carbohydrate, a poor quality carb, you are going to spike up your blood sugar levels, and that is going to disrupt your entire eating habit for the day. So some people like to start with badam, almonds, whatever and stuff, and then their fruits. I would do fat first. So fruits are second. Almonds, badam first. So I put fat in. So when I eat a fruit, my blood sugar levels are not going to spike. It's different for everyone in the morning. Sometimes just keep it simple. Have your normal breakfast. But do not do carbohydrates first. Remember this. So in your point, I'll give you all a hack, because you said to take away the point that you should stop eating out so much, right? If you want to eat out, there's a hack. It's how you eat. The first thing that goes in your system should be raw, if you're used to raw. So your cucumber slice, salad. Second is the cooked vegetables. Third is the protein. Fourth is the carb. Now I know you'll have a question about khichdi, I'll come to that, okay, because it's mixed. I'll tell you why. It's simple science. First, I'm having the raw cooked vegetables. So fiber, all of that digests, it creates a gel intestine. Okay? Now when I reach, then my protein, when I reach the carbohydrate, there's not going to be a sugar dump, which means my blood sugar levels are not going to spike. That's why a dessert after a good meal planned, you can get away with it. Now if it's a khichdi, rajma rice, all of that stuff, you can still take protein first, right? So if there's paneer on your plate or non-vegetarian or rajma, you can have a tablespoon of that and then have the rajma rice or the khichdi. You can do this, use this rule on an airplane, hotel. It's called a flow. It's how you eat. So if I want to eat a dessert today, I'm going to eat in this form. But if I eat the dessert first, okay, I'm creating a sugar dump. So there are these little laws that you follow when you're eating and stuff like that, but fat first, then fruit. That's the best way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Some people feel Gujarati dal also as a dessert, but that's a different thing. So, yeah, the lady over there in green. I'm coming to you. We'll take maybe 2 more questions.
Sure. Hi, first of all, thanks for this insightful session. Yeah. So we saw that how everyone is unique and how everyone should be treated uniquely. So is there a way or a tool you have to decide what treatment to give to what people? Yeah. Like, what is your way to decide that?
So absolutely, it's dependent on the diagnosis. The prognosis is always dependent on the diagnosis. So we spend a lot of time from people understanding their digestive system. So now we know what they need to eat, understanding their sleep levels. So we can understand their inflammatory levels, understanding their exercise. So some people say, I'm exercising so much, but they're not eating right for their exercise. They're deficient in nutrients. And likewise with emotional questions, the basic questions of finding out about people's relationships, if they have symptoms of depression, emotional, mental, any deeply rooted emotion that they've been carrying for years. These are all trigger points for us to arrive at a conclusion of what lifestyle plan a person should have. So it's very, very personalized and different for everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
They just do not talk about the sex, which is important thing for the relaxation. And on the contrary, they advise us to remain abstain from the sex. What are your opinion? You also avoided that thing.
I'm happy to talk about this topic. It's a very good question. We have time for it. Okay, so let's talk about sex for a while, okay? So number one, like you said, there's a lot of social media today that's telling people, don't masturbate, don't do this, and you'll have incredible power and all of this stuff. But unfortunately, those followers are still just on Twitter and consuming content. They've not done anything with their lives after stopping this. Understand nature again. Okay? Sex is natural. Intention is everything. Sex with the wrong intention is a problem for everyone. It becomes crime, it becomes lust. Sexual energy, let me tell you, a lot of women in our country and men have physical ailments because of suppressed sexual energy. I'm going to give you an example, case study. We had a lady from Chennai, okay, she came, extreme vaginal burning, all of that, urine analysis was fine, everything was good, everything was fine. No polyps, no fibroids, no cysts, clinically clean. Food was great, exercise was great. We came to the relationship part of it, okay? No sexual relationship with her husband. Husband doesn't want to sleep with her for whatever reasons. As a woman, she feels many things, not just sex deprived. She feels she's ugly. She feels she's not good enough. She feels that maybe her husband has another woman. When the human body spirit is rejected, it brings on every form of human suffering, which is why we love appreciation, we love attention in the right way, and we like feeling needed. Okay, when this is taken away, sexual tension builds up in the body. I told her, will your husband sleep with you? No, whatever. So I got one of my women nutritionists to ask her, like, listen, does she masturbate? No, I can't. It's a taboo. I can't do that. I got one of my nutritionists to convince her. Start. Do it. Try. See what you need. You need the release. 1 week later, every symptom disappeared. She needed a release of sexual energy. Now, there's a huge difference. You're sitting behind a screen watching pornography and, all of that stuff. That's not sexual energy you're releasing. That's a whole load of messed up emotions. The point is, uncle, sex is needed. It's absolutely part of dynamics. You know it when you had a child. It brings in a human life. It's sacred. It's absolutely sacred. So part of healing, when we ask questions on relationships, yes, we do talk about sex lives as well. Because some people, they're just happy being with each other. They've mutual agreement. They're okay, we were good when we were younger, now we don't need it. That's also fine. But when there's a need, and that need is suppressed, what do you think happens in the human mind? Now you have to pretend, oh, I had a bad thought, let me read a spiritual book. Doesn't change the problem of what your physical need is. So sex is a very important part, and it's messed up with social media today because sex is associated with pornography, all of these things, no-fap, all of that. No-fap is for people who have been overdoing it. Obviously, stop it, you're going to feel better, right? The point is, it's natural. You do it, you do it. You abuse it, anything in excess is bad. Anything. Excess of good food is also bad. Excess of meditation is bad. Excess of spirituality is bad. Everything has to be in balance. So the point is, it is a very important part for human dynamics. It is very sacred, it's very spiritual, and it's the way it is. Because remember, it's not what Luke is saying. What does the human brain need? Every human is hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Every human brain. That's why painkillers, anything that can take away your pain, you will move towards it. Anything that you can find pleasure in, you will seek. You don't have love in your own relationship, you will seek for it outside. Maybe you won't do it, but your mind will seek for it. Understand that. That's how the human brain works. Pleasure and pain. So the most important industries work around this. What does Netflix give you? Pleasure, right? Entertainment, dopamine. What does video games give you? Dopamine. What does pornography give you? Dopamine. Pleasure. Too much of it, you burn out dopamine and now you're depressed. Now you're sad. Great question, uncle. Great question. Yeah. Make sure your sex life is
yes. We'll take one
blooming,
last.
please.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ma'am.
That's why I've come from out of Ahmedabad to be over here today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Look, before they used to tell us that the lightest meal of the day should be your dinner, and the heaviest you should, dine like a king. It should be the breakfast. And now intermittent fasting is really like the heaviest. You miss your breakfast, and the heaviest is your dinner. So, what is how do we know? Because there's so many theories, there's so many things we see. There's always two opinions of everything. How do we decide?
By doing it. What suits you?
Okay.
That's how you do it, right? There's no right answer. It's you do it, I feel good with a heavy dinner. Like I need a heavy dinner. That's what works for me because I fast till morning. If I eat a light dinner, the next day I'm in a bad shape. So the
Okay.
point is, the word is self-realization. We're too dependent on everyone to give us an answer. Try it. One day, have a heavy dinner. See how you feel. The next day, have a light dinner. You'll find your answer by trying.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Luke always says, listen to your body, right?
True,
That's how.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll take one last question. Yes, lady over there. In the center, yes, please. Ah, doesn't matter. One of you. That's the last question, please.
Luke, your words and your simple thoughts really gives us goosebumps.
Thank you.
I want to ask you a very valid question here, which everybody has asked, but you know how you have treated cancer through your holistic nutrition and lifestyle medicine, you have treated cancer that way, and many other ailments like diabetes and all. But you know, the mental diseases like depression or say mental health issues, say clinical depression, is that absolutely curable with holistic nutrition and lifestyle medication?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So for clinical depression, you need to see a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist. Food can't really make too much of a difference, but it plays a role when you're on medication. Because every medicine has a side effect. It's depleting something. That's where nutrition comes in to see if this medication, like a steroid, depletes vitamin C, E, and zinc. That's why people have side effects of water retention. But if my patient is on a steroid and I'm putting that back into their body through food or supplementation, they don't go through the side effect. Clinical depression, okay, there's many things like bipolar, schizophrenic. You can't call it reversible. It's not a disease, it's a disorder. You can manage it. But depression, which is caused because of our irrelevant feelings, insecurity, we don't have help, we've been abused by children, absolutely you can get out of it. Absolutely, yes. There are so many people who are no longer depressed. So it's really which category you form. See, we need to understand that the human body is trying to heal us all the time. If we set the environment for it, it is 100% possible. Today there are bipolars who are living normal lives, and the families around understand when the person is in a high, it's good. When they're in a low, they're prepared. So the environment is conducive for the healing. And then there are some schizophrenics who need to be put into asylums because they can't be controlled. But majority of depression, it comes from within. You have to decide. For that, you need to change the way you eat. Because if you have depression and poor gut health, there is no way you can feel better. So nutrition comes as a support function. You can, if anyone tells you nutrition will take away your depression, it's absolutely wrong. It is always an integrated and holistic approach. That's how it is.
And one thing I wanted to ask about, the immunity thing. How does one build up immunity by...
Everything I spoke about, the fundamentals. That's it. That's the fundamental for everything you're trying to achieve at a physical level and a mental level.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Absolutely fabulous. This was a master class on holistic health, I would say. Absolutely fabulous. So much to take away, certainly. And of course, some of the words that I have written, not that consistency over intensity, right? That's something that acceptance. Spirituality starts with the respect of the body. We talk about attitude where it comes to treating the mental health. That you said. And of course, several other things, sleep, of course, we need to quality sleep. And then, of course, take care of the balance. Very important in your bank accounts also. and the balance. And then, of course, there is a vagus nerve also. That's not vagus about just the one thing. Thank you so much. And a round of applause.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Fabulous. We're so delighted to have you. We would like to see you again and again and again, certainly. And certainly thanks to Uday, Dilip Bhai, and Shan for the initiative and to sponsor this initiative for wellness. And certainly thanks to all of you for this overwhelming response and such a success that we were worried actually. And there's another room also, Luke, where this is going on live. So naturally, this is the biggest auditorium we did not have. So that's how Unmesh certainly compliments and thanks to you for this innovative idea. To have Luke sign off the mugs. They're going to certainly go as complimentary. So don't worry, we are not going to make any money. We could have made a lot of it, but that's not the purpose. This is certainly a memento for everybody. Yeah, so the guys who asked the questions can come over, and there are some more mugs that I can see can also take the... Yeah, but maybe before that, We want to have a picture, right? Yes. So we'll have a picture. Huh? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, one request. Please put the feedback for the program. We'll be very happy to have your feedback. Your feedback makes such programs get repeated sooner than later.